Welcome, dearest soul. Oh, the connection is so sweet. We're so happy that you're listening to this message because it means you've likely listened to the first message we sent on Dancing Through Timelines. And that means you aren't shied away from it. And you think at some level in your imagination, this is possible. Maybe I can do this. And we're here to tell you, yes, of course you can. You're back to hear more. And at first, it may just be hearing, then maybe dreaming while you're asleep, then maybe dreaming while you're awake. And then maybe you'll start to notice things are shifting. The channel is noticing in his life that his family is much warmer and more open. He doesn't have the need to discuss what's going on with him spiritually, but when it comes up, there's more connection and overlap and acceptance with his family that has for a lifetime thumbed up their nose at what he was experiencing in his realities. So it's starting to happen. Everyone's starting to soften. And he's noticing that because he has softened. And he's moving into a timeline of that acceptance. It's not just they've changed. Of course, he's changed to be in a different place where different thems can react to him in ways that love and support him. And it all seems natural because the way our brains work, we reset reality every so fractions of a second. Literally, it's like the energetic stop and then the pulse starts again. So it's like constantly generating a reality. You can study quantum physics. You can study a lot of people who work with quantum computers, and they will tell you this, right? And it's being reset constantly. So in those moments of reset, you just slip into another one and it looks seamless. Just like when you're watching a movie, there's a different cells, different frames on the film, but it's moving at a speed that makes it seem continuous. And reality does the same thing, except it's not a projector. It's really your consciousness blinking in and out because that's the nature of it. And then, of course, you feed it with your thoughts, as we said in episode 1 of this. But we don't need to explain how all that works to you. What we want to tell you is once you get to where you're allowing telling new stories, it's time to start to acknowledge and experience the new story. Now, this gets to be a little bit tricky in that in 3D, you kind of lay a game plan out and you put all your steps in front of you and you kind of manifest it. And you see that in manifestation, and it works quite well in 3D. And quite literally, when you manifest in 3D, you have flipped a timeline because now you flipped into a timeline where you have what you previously did not have because of your effort to manifest. 5D gets a little bit trickier because you're growing up, you're mastering, you're getting more powerful. And what happens is a lot of the 3D methods, they still work. They bite you in the butt, though, because as we said about clearing, if it's not completely clear, because the energies are so strong, it'll come in and it'll come in the ways you don't choose, but your unconscious is stuck on because you're holding that energy. So again, clear, 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 clear. And then the key is to find the balance between manifestation and allowance, letting it just flow and come to you. So you're clearly set up, oh yeah, I'm heading in the direction of a new beautiful world, or whatever it is you're choosing to manifest. And then you start to see how it is. And then this is where lesson 2 is. You celebrate the moments where you notice the little bit of differences, the little shimmerings, the little changes that wasn't how it was before. And it's so funny when the channel first learned this. He would be at odds with somebody, really hatred would just well up and fill him with these people. And he got far enough along to know that it was his problem and his process, and he would work to clear it. And sometimes he was so successful, he would meet the person who used to trigger him, and they were sweet and kind and loving. He was stunned. And he would kind of mention what happened that would cause the angst in the past, and they would have no knowledge of it. And like, what are you talking about? It's not how it is. And he was so upset because he couldn't be right and couldn't be vindicated because he'd done his work and he cleared and he was in a new timeline with a new person who was no longer a nemesis, but kind and friendly. And of course, they had no memory of it. And he was like, where's my vindication? When are you going to apologize? When do I get to be right about this? And you don't. You get to enjoy the new timeline, or you go back in the old one of opposition. So you're going to start to notice shifts in people around you. And this is what we're telling you in the second lesson. Okay. As you clear and as you hold the visioning of what it is you would like to see, and then letting it go because it's no longer just manifesting with intent. You do your intent and you sit back. I think the analogy the channel likes to use is you buy your plane ticket and then you go sit in your seat. You don't go pounding at the door to the pilot. Are we there yet? Hey, are you driving the right way, the plane? No, you sit in your seat and you wait till you get there. That's allowing in a physical 3D way, but now you have to do it in a spiritual 5D way. So you'll hold your intents, you'll do your allowing. And what is important is to be aware of the mental patterning, the self-talk that is coming up. Because as you open to this, you're going to get the, oh no, this is not possible, or it can't happen. And you have to slowly say, okay, that's another limitation I've placed on myself, on how I keep myself in one reality. That's why we say celebrate the miracles, little small ones. Oh, I was looking for money. I needed money. I needed a manifestation thing. And I walked down the street and I found a penny. You're like, well, it's only a penny. No, no, no. It's free money. And it was right there in front of you. And it was a sign that you're on the right path. You're doing what's done. And if you stop to celebrate it, then you create more of that celebratory energy and you're more into that timeline. You're more aligned to it. You see, the timelines can only be in alignment with the energy you're holding. That's why in the last talk, we said, hey, change your mentality, how you speak and see what a timeline is. Then this one, we're here to tell you, celebrate it. The little bits, the little changes. And just look at it with awe and wonder. Then you're going to start to see it more and more. And eventually you'll see it in real time. The first time the channel saw it in real time, he was having a fight with a neighbor. There was a big old wall there. In the wall was representative, of course, of a wall. And there was problems over this. And the neighbor had called and did some complaining and needed some things done right away. And the channel's wife was all upset about it from years of trauma of this relation. And so the channel went to deal with it. And so Peter goes there and he realizes he's all agitated. And so he says, okay, God, the only words that can come out of my mouth are fuck you. So you need to speak here for me. Okay. Just God, you speak for me. And then he witnessed a timeline shift just by doing that. The neighbor comes out there and says, you guys need to do this. And the channel said, no. And he said, but you agreed to do it. And he said, no. And he said, I got a phone recording of you guys saying you're going to do it. And he said, no. And he said, well, okay, well, we'll do it. And then you guys will pay for it. And he goes, no. And then, it was like a sci-fi movie, except there was no shimmering lights or a little sound of woo. Then the guy just shifts and goes, being a good neighbor is more important. We'll just take care of it. And then the wife, who would never come out, literally never has come out and does not speak to anybody except their family when they show up, comes out the door and says, you're right, being a neighbor is the most important. We'll take care of everything. So the channel celebrated. He had just witnessed a timeline shift. It happened in real time, and it's going to happen more and more. So our point for this second communication with you is start to understand it's going to happen. Continue to clear with the negativity that comes up as you hold the thought and image of a new timeline. And then celebrate the small little pieces of it. Because that puts you then in the frequency of alignment with that timeline. Oh, look, I found that penny. Oh, look, this flower is starting to bud. Yes, I know it's not a mighty forest or a tree yet, but hey, this is the beginning of it. And I'm here in connection with it. And then you'll see it more and more. The timelines will start to shift. So this is our second message to you. We're so happy that you're going to move into a timeline of joy and peace and health. for everyone on the planet. Because the more of you do that, the more you create that frequency, the more you'll bring people along, because they'll start to say, on a deep level, on a spirit level, why do things have to suck so much? Why do they have to be so hard? Why am I working all the time? Why are these bad people doing this? And they'll lose their attachment to I have to win, right? Just like the channel lost his attachment if the other person has to apologize because he's right. And then they'll be joining you in timelines that you co-create that are way, way more satisfying for you. And that is mastery. Thank you so much. Many, many blessings to you. Hi, I'm Peter D. Thank you so much for watching this video. We're all doing our best we can to help humanity ascend. Please share your comments below. It's important that other people hear that these experiences are happening with everybody. So let us know what's going on with you in relationship to this topic. And if you can, please like and subscribe to this video. It'll help the YouTube algorithm send it out for more people to see. Stay blessed. You are so magnificent.